Hello and welcome to the Orlando World Sunday Showdown Ride of 16. This week's episode features two of the best attractions in Orlando, with the incredibly popular Haunted Mansion going head-to-head against the highly entertaining Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. As always, let's take a quick look at both these attractions before we head into this week's series of 5 rounds. Haunted Mansion is a dark omnimover ride that sits proud of place at the corner of Liberty Square at Magic Kingdom. It opened on the 1st of October, 1971. It's one of a few attractions in the Disney Resort which uses the omnimover system throughout the ride, as guests make their way through the eerily spooky but delightfully charming mansion, which is home to the 999 happy haunts. The ride is housed inside of the Californian-inspired Gothic mansion, where the attraction was a bit longer and more intricately detailed compared to the original at Disneyland in California. It's a fun and frighteningly enjoyable experience, which has been one of the most popular attractions at Disney for almost 5 decades. One of the biggest openings in theme park history saw crowds of Wizarding World of Harry Potter fans queue up for over 10 hours to be among the first to experience Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which opened on the 11th of June 2019 at Universal's Islands of Adventure in the Hogsmeade area of the park. The ride offers a truly magical experience with a surprising amount of speeding power as you blast your way erratically through the Forbidden Forest on board the unique motorbike and sidecar vehicle. The coaster is currently the most expensive roller coaster attraction ever built at a cost of over $300 million, featuring some of the most advanced animatronics ever created, bringing to life the world of Harry Potter like never before. Now let's move ahead to the first of this week's 5 rounds and see which of these will take their place in the quarter-final round. Let's go to round 1. One of the most fascinating things about some Disney attractions is their ability to really capture the imagination, which is all the more impressive when this is achieved using a mixture of traditional techniques from decades past, and some modern-day technology. The theme of the attraction is so incredibly detailed, it's virtually impossible not to find some creepy or quirky new things each time you ride. Haunted Mansion is themed so well, with the exterior being so well designed it immediately intimidates you with its presence before setting foot inside, and although there's a hint of horror around the attraction, it feels more like a fun house, with a very tame ride, featuring some mischievous but harmless ghosts. It's easy to see why this is one of the must-do attractions at Walt Disney World. At Universal's parks, the bar is continuing to rise in terms of building super immersive rides and experiences. One of the most immersive of these is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which takes a high-speed chase through the Forbidden Forest, where you visit Hagrid's hut and come face-to-face with some magical creatures along the way. The ride itself is so well designed, it gives the feeling of flight, with the motorbike and sidecar flying around through the air, in a way which would be so realistic and similar to what you experience from the movie franchise. The theme itself is so immersive, which so much detail throughout all areas of the ride, with some clever special effects, and incredibly realistic animatronic figures, adding to the realism, bringing you deeper into the Wizarding World like never before. But with both attractions being so incredibly detailed, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure just captures the imagination a little better than Haunted Mansion, although it's still very minimal between the two, as we head to round 2. Haunted Mansion is one of Disney's highest capacity rides without the Disney World Resort, and one of the highest at Magic Kingdom. The ride uses the world-famous Omnimover system, which is also used at Epcot on the Spaceship Earth attraction, and in Tomorrowland at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, is used as a continuously loading system on vehicles known as Doom Buggies. The Doom Buggy holds between 2 to 3 riders in each vehicle, as it rolls around the track, bringing in a very impressive early capacity of over 3,200 riders. Capacity for Haunted Mansion is the highest at Magic Kingdom compared to other versions at other Disney parks. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure was originally planned to be an extremely high-capacity roller coaster ride, where it was designed to hold a similar capacity to the ride it replaced, Dragon Challenge, which had 2 tracks and a high capacity. But initially the ride was plagued with operational problems, and was due to operate with up to 12 trains on the near 1-mile-long track, but this was drastically reduced to keep operational downtime to a minimum. The motorbike and sidecar trains are capable of holding 14 riders in each train, 7 rows with 1 ride on each of the bike and sidecar, bringing a total early capacity of 2,400 riders. So in round 2, with the operational issues dropping the capacity for the Harry Potter coaster, it means that Haunted Mansion levels the score going into round 3. Haunted Mansion being an Omnimover attraction means it travels at a very slow pace around the track, but despite it being slow, there's plenty to take in throughout the ride, and doesn't pass by too slowly. The ride has an average duration of around 7.5 minutes. It's a fairly enjoyable amount of time for a very tame ride, which does offer a lot spooky fun throughout. Fans of the ride have often argued that the ride could be longer, but recent updates over the years have seen more interactive elements in the queue sections, allowing for a little more entertainment before the ride. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure is billed as being a story coaster ride, with a lot of themed elements and the most launch sections ever built on a roller coaster anywhere in the world, with 7 launch sections. With the added time needed for the drop sections, the ride lasts a bit longer than most standard coasters do, with an average ride duration of 3 minutes. It's a fairly exhilarating ride, which leaves you wanting more, although the ride time is ample enough to provide a wonderful experience. So in round 3, for the first time in the contest, Haunted Mansion takes the lead as we head into the penultimate round. Let's head straight to round 4. Haunted Mansion is a relatively short track ride in terms of its overall length. But by using the pedestrian-paced Omnimover system, the ride does feel much longer in length than it is. The track winds its way around the mansion, with a plethora of paranormal events happening throughout, and with a very clever use of Disney's traditional portrait perspective techniques, the ride feels much more grand than it looks, making the ride feel much further in length. At only 960 feet, Haunted Mansion feels much longer in length, adding to what feels like a never-ending maze of spooky trickery. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure is a record-setting coaster in a number of ways, most notably for holding the world record for the most launches ever built on a roller coaster anywhere in the world, as well as being the most expensive ever, at $300 million. But holding the record for being the longest roller coaster by length in Florida, the Magical Bike experience is heightened by impressive 5,053 feet of track. At almost a mile long, it winds, dips and weaves in a particularly fluid yet erratic way, which encapsulates the flight you would expect as you travel through the Forbidden Forest. The ride track itself is impressive with its multiple launch areas, and with added theming and animatronics littered throughout. The ride is an incredible length for a fast ride which has a story to tell. So in the fourth round, very comfortably the Harry Potter attraction levels the score, going into a nail-biting fifth and final all-deciding round. Haunted Mansion has been a main attraction for Disney parks from the very beginning, with the Florida version opening 2 years after the California version as an opening day attraction at Magic Kingdom. The incredible popularity of the original ensured that the Florida version would be more elaborate and win bigger and better. The ride itself is a light-hearted ghost train through a weird and wonderful spooky funhouse. It's fairly tame, and in a sense isn't frightening, but makes you feel a few heart-pumping moments, which bring out more of a laugh than fear. Despite lacking any real ultimate thrills, the ride is still a very fun and exciting ride for those who don't mind a bit of spooky mischievous behaviour and some fun special effects. One of the things that the wizarding world of Harry Potter has been able to achieve over the last few years is create super immersive, highly detailed experiences that take fans of the franchise deeper into the universe like never before, and as expected, no expense was spared in creating what is considered the best roller coaster experience in Orlando. The ride is themed so well, and with multiple launch sections each adding a different experience to the ride, it's fast, and offers such a liberating experience from a different perspective, particularly from the bike side of the coaster cars, allowing you to feel much more control of the ride than ever before. It's simply one of the most gratifying experiences for any roller coaster ride ever built, meaning that in the fifth round, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure takes the final point in the contest. So looking at the result this week, after a thrilling contest, we do have a winner. Which does rather surprisingly mean that one of Disney's most highly rated attractions takes a shock defeat and drops out of the round of 16. Haunted Mansion is a must-ride attraction, and although not the most thrilling of attractions, it's such a wonderful display of how Disney are able to take traditional and modern technology and merge them together to develop some unique and wonderful experiences. For almost 5 decades it has been a great attraction and will continue to entertain guests for hopefully another 50 years. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure advances to the next round. Join us next week for the ultimate Magic Kingdom battle between Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. See you next week. We hope you enjoy this video. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. You can find us on social media platforms. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Orlando Worlds, and on Instagram at the Orlando Worlds. Thanks for watching.